a powerful house.
Okay.
A powerful house. I want to clarify some things here. I'm not talking about a structure, a building of brick and mortar, wood and nails. I'm not talking about that house, but I'm talking about that living tabernacle that most of the time walks upright, 2 legs, 2 eyes, and 2 arms, 1 heart. I'm talking about a person with 1 head on its shoulders. I'm talking about your spiritual house. I found out in these years of preaching and teaching is that the biggest problem that we have in the church is people are not concerned about their spiritual house. Look, if you can come in the house of the Lord with your house and have a funky attitude, a bad dispensation about yourself, you just screwed up. That's because you got some internal problems going on. Look at here. You need to understand that if you really want to have a powerful, sound house, you've got to get rid of some negative stuff. I know y'all don't want to talk to me. You've got to get rid of some stuff that will hinder you from giving God the best of your service. See, you can't give him a praise without service. And you can't give him no service without a changed heart. And you can't give him a changed heart without a changed life. So some people are screwed up and messed up, and when they leave here, they leave the same way they if you get mad, every time you go to the church, you got to get mad at the preacher. You got to get mad at somebody. That's evidence that there's something going on in your life. But quit looking at the other person, because if yours was so fine-tuned, they could not take you out of the stature or out of the walk that Christ had put you. Am I talking to anybody right through here? You've got to understand this thing. So you got to get rid of some negative stuff. Matthew chapter 12, somewhere along in verse 43 through 45. Listen what he said. He said, when an unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places seeking rest, and findeth none. Talking about the unclean spirit. The unclean spirit is out looking for some other stuff now, because he got evicted from where he used to live. Now he's a trespasser. But if you let him come back in, watch this. Then he says, watch this now, you got to see this. Then he says, I will return into my house. My house. He doesn't claim ownership of your house. Now look at here, y'all look at this. If I go to Brother Williams' house, that don't mean I own his house. That's right. Or I run his house. That's still his house. He can either invite me in, tell me no, I can't come in, or if I get there, he can tell me I need to go. Hello, if I try to stay, I'm trespassing. Right. And he can take the law into his hands. Oh, y'all act like y'all don't hear me. And so many church folk let the devil kick the devil out, let him come back and set camp up all over. Look what it said, verse 44. Then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he find it empty, swept, and garnished. Look here, the reason we don't have powerful houses because ain't nobody putting nothing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You ain't got to shout off of this. Look at here, I want to help somebody. Look at here, you ain't got nothing in. That's why you can cuss folk out. That's why you can still creep in the midnight hour. That's why you can still do the devil work and then want to say, oh, Lord, forgive me. I messed up. You know you were going to mess up before you even asked. See, when the devil come back and you let him in, he sets up ownership all over. Well, I know y'all ain't no amen on that. Watch what he say. He say, I found it. It was empty. It was swept. Look at, that's why you ain't got no Holy Ghost power. But you can raise hell. You ain't got no prayer life. But you can cuss somebody out. I didn't know that was in the word because you don't read it. I'm legally blind and know what's in the word. Some of y'all can see with both of your eyes and 4 eyes and 6 eyes, and you still don't know what's in it. And that's why the devil is standing whipping you, beating you to and fro, and you sitting there, I can't get a break. I can't get a blessing. The reason you can't, because the devil that camped up in your house. And you think the Lord gonna bless you in a whole bunch of mess? Tap your neighbor and say, who he talking to somebody? Watch the 45th verse. Matthew 12:45. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. Look at it. I'll never forget this. I'll pick on Brother Peterson one moment. Years ago when I pastored another church, his father was there, and he invited us over to dinner. He had fixed some big turkey legs, and he invited another preacher over, and this other preacher took it upon himself to invite some more people.
Wow. Ain't got permission. Well.
Y'all see what? And when we got there, we were there ahead of the other one. The other one come, and some more people come with it. And Brother Peterson, he looked, and he said, now, who told them they could come to my house? I didn't invite them. And yet somebody else go try to get a tag along.
All right.
Y'all will see it in a minute. And I want to bring them. And now, wait a minute. Now the atmosphere is chaotic. Because you brought somebody here that's not supposed to be. If I wanted them here, I would have invited. If you invite me to your house, and I bring 5 other folk, and you only prepared for 4.
All right. Come on. That's right.
Now, what make you think we gonna have a nice time? Me and that person you brought might have a problem.
All right. Talk about it.
We might not be at the same place. And now you done invited somebody that might be wicked in my. The text says, he goeth and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. And first of all, that let me know you already wicked because you disobeyed the rules. You coming to my house, but you bringing everything. Now, I got to deal with that. And in the text. And they enter in and dwell there. Watch this. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it also be until this wicked generation. See, some of y'all let folk and stuff come into your place that God has blessed you with that ought not be there. And it leaves the remnants of wicked, foul, demonic spirits, and you trying to wonder why it's a hellified spirit in your house. You trying to figure out why your children all of a sudden acting crazy, or your husband don't act right, or your wife is tripping. It's because you've allowed other spirits.
Make it plain, Pastor.
And because you are spiritually ignorant to the fact, you can't even cast it out.
No power.
Oh, watch this. Y'all see the little kids who bad, but y'all say what they doing is cute.
Well,
Or your child can't do no wrong, and they doing the same thing as everybody else. Bad, but you don't want to recognize what it is, and that demon just grow and grow. And grow. Now you scared to tell them what to do because they go raise up against. I'm trying to help somebody. See, you need to understand this, that the enemy know once you kick him out, and you have the authority because you have the power. You have the anointing, you have the arsenal to get rid of the devil and his imps. But when you don't, that's why you keep falling for it. Anybody ever said that famous line to church? Lord, you get me out of this and I promise I won't do it no more. He deliver you. And then next week, doing the same. I ain't gonna drink no more. And you find yourself with the wrong crowd. Oh, just a little bit on the rocks and go, I ain't gonna smoke no more. Whatever, cigarettes, weed, whatever. I ain't gonna do it no more. I ain't tipping no more. Oh, girl, if I just hit it one more time, nobody don't know. Man, if you just come tighten this up just a little bit, I'll be fine at it. Look here, y'all can look at it and play with it if you want to. But look here, the devil is sitting there saying, just a little dab of this. It ain't gonna hurt. You can get by with this. And the Lord is sitting right there saying, you are destroying your anointing. Every time you let the enemy come, boy, preach, pastor, go and teach us today. You look at here. Let me help you here. I got to give you a few things and get out of your way. Y'all give me about 12 minutes and I'm through. But number one, you need the right tools. Tell your neighbor, I need the right tools in order to make it. Some of y'all walking around with these fake tools and these imitated tools and trying to look like you holy and you ain't nothing but a wolf on the inside of sheep clothes. You trying to shout and you ain't got no bit of anointing, no shout, no holiness in you. Trying to prophesy and all this kind of stuff because you sure don't have no prophesying or prophecy within you. You sitting there, oh, I can lay hands on you and you just a demon touching another demonic spirit saying, stay right there because you don't have spiritual tools to work with. Look at here, 1 Corinthians chapter 12. Y'all don't mind me walking this for just a moment because, see, I need to help you. I ain't going to be here forever. One of these days, I'm going to take flight. I'm going to get up out of here. But I need to equip you with the stuff in order to make it. You talk about you want to be blessed. You want to be able to walk in and speak to the enemy. The enemy got to move. You can speak to sickness, and sick people will be healed. People will be delivered and set free. But you don't even go about it the right way.
Amen.
1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 7 through 11, if you need these. 1 Corinthians said, but the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit with him. Verse 8, for to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit. Verse 10, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits, to another divers kinds of tongues, to another interpretation of tongues. Verse 11 said, but all these worketh in one and the self same Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will. That's 9 tools that you need to have in your toolbox in order to beat up on the devil. And you sitting around here getting your butt kicked. Pastor, I'm going through. Why you going through? I just don't know. The devil just keep bothering me. He keep giving me this problem after this problem. And my children don't act right. My brothers, my sisters don't have nothing to do with me. Have you ever thought the problem not with them? Sometimes the problem is with you. And when you recognize where the problem is, then you can fix it. Tears me up for praying over the same thing. Wait a minute, how long you been praying over that? When you gonna trust God to move? Wait a minute, you say you go speak into somebody's life. Oh, God gave me a word. I gotta tell you, this is what he wants you to do in your life. How you think they go receive it and they don't even trust God?
That's it. Well.
And you think God go waste time on people who don't care about him?
No.
Why you think he said shake the dust from your feet and go on about my business, and it's going to be worse on them than the way it was in Sodom? And you steady trying, oh, come on, brother, come on. I wish you niggas leave me alone. Come on, brother. Well, they keep bothering me. I'm going to tell them something. Come on, brother, come on. Steady doing what you want to do. And then you go sit here and spend more time, and then there's somebody over there trying to find a way. Help me, help me, help me. And you sitting here spending time on dead fish. And then, but I'm holy. You a holy lie. Holes all up in your stuff. The only time you get sanctified is when you come to church. You don't have no prayer service at home. You don't praise at home. You don't read the word of God at home. You don't sing psalms at home. You don't even shout at home by yourself. You got to have a crowd before you can do anything. You're not using what God has given. I don't have to have all the tools, but the tools that I do have, I got to know how to work them.
That's right, Pastor.
All these people sitting around, somebody come up in here, y'all better not do me like that. Oh, I got the gift of speaking in tongues. Okay. Speak in tongues. Decently and in order. The Lord will not have you speaking in tongues in a public place if he don't have an interpreter there.
That's right.
Y'all getting real quiet now. But I'm over here, I'm in my prayer language, and I'm over here praying to me and my God. It ain't about nobody. You are alive. If you come out here and we corporately together, if we are here together, it's no longer just you by yourself.
That's right.
We are here together, and we ought to be on one accord together. If you praising it, we all ought to be praising. If you singing, we all ought to be singing. If you shout, we all ought to be shouting. Whatever is going on corporately, that's what we ought to be. But you can't do it because you're still stuck in sin. It's all about you. I ain't gonna sing. Now it's my time to sing. I'm gonna shine. That's why you ain't got no power. I ain't gonna pray. Wait a minute. It's 12 folk in here now. I'll pray. And they said no. The other day I was in a service. And a woman said, I want the family to pray. We were at a funeral. And she got to praying. And after a while, she quit praying. And she just started talking.
Yeah.
Family, y'all know we ain't supposed to be doing this, and we don't like this person, and we don't like, and I'm glad I'm like. Yeah. I was standing over here, and I looked over there, and I put my hand on myself, and I backed up, and I'm And then she wanted to say amen.
Yeah.
But then one woman wanted to get mad at my wife because she closed the door, because the funeral director said close the door and lock it because I want the family to have time. She mad.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you was home.
Well.
You get these people who want to prophesy and speak things into your life, and they can't even spell God. They get to doing all that kind of stuff and all that. Y'all need to understand what I'm saying to you.
Now.
Look here, you better read the word for yourself. And let somebody else confirm what you read. But you can't get no confirmation because you don't know what's in the word. Get to talking about, oh, I got the gift of healing. Don't be putting your hands on me. I was in a church one time, and my heart started messing with me. And one woman came over there, one of the deacon wives, and wanted to put her hands on me, and I got worse. You got to be careful. You think I'm going to let somebody come pray for me and you not even trying to live right? Don't be putting your hands on me. You're trying to get my anointing, and what you going to do with it? You couldn't handle the anointing God gave me if he put it on you. Somebody understand. Let me move. Look at here. Now you also need in this two chest. You need Galatians 5:22. Here's another set of nines. 22 and 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance, and against such there is no law. There's another set of nines. That give you 18 things to go in your toolbox. And if you have those in your toolbox, but the problem comes. Some of y'all may have it and don't know its purpose.
Yes, don't know what to do with it.
In other words, you need to know the purpose you need to know their purpose in your life. You think God gave you that stuff so you can sit on it? Anybody here been blessed? Yeah. But have you blessed somebody else?
Yeah. Well.
You had dinner the other day. Went and didn't have dinner. Sat around and lied while the football game was on and all that stuff, and sitting there eating. eating and getting full, talking about, oh, this was good. And then some of you want to have attitude with somebody else. You saw somebody else was hungry. Ooh, they ought to be shamed. Let me help you. How many of y'all have 4 coats in your closet? 4 coats. I'm just saying 4. I could say 3 or 2. You can only work one at a time.
Right.
But how many people have you seen outside cold? I ain't giving up my coat. I paid good money for that. Oh, they should have been doing the right thing. That's why they out there. They might be out there so God can see where your heart is. See, when you know the purpose of these gifts in your life, then you know how to use them. Look at here. Let me help somebody real quick. Take your hands. Open your hands. And close that fist. Close that fist. You got your fist closed. And now all of a sudden, somebody walk up and they try to put something in a closed fist.
Yes, sir.
They want to put something in them. Hello. I'm trying to be a blessing. Oh, she's already. Look at. I'm trying to bless you, but your fists are closed. Your hands are closed. God trying to pour into you, but you got your heart closed. You got your hands closed. Closed up tight. Can't nothing get. But God gonna bless me. He gonna bless me. How you know he gonna bless me? I see it. I feel it coming. It's coming. But you close. How many of you got some tools that God has given you, but they closed? Anybody here bought some new furniture and you still got plastic on it? Oh, that's what Reverend was really doing. Anybody got some new clothes with the tag still on them? Hey, hello, somebody. Anybody got stuff that's new, but you don't want to use it yet? Why you gonna go buy some dishes and don't want to use them? I'm buying some dishes, but I'm gonna use paper plates. You about crazy. I got a new